Lemon Amiga presents a Playguide video review. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hey there once again, welcome to another Lemon Amiga play guide and review. This time we'll be checking out Xenon 2. This was developed by the Bitmap brothers and published by Imageworks in 1989.
Don't touch that dial.
Welcome to Xenon 2 by the Bitmap brothers.
I'll be playing the CDTV version for this, which comes with digitized music.
Don't touch that dial.
October 90430 hours, execute at Victor King.
CDTV version came out, I think it was 1992, and the original was 1989. So in that time they've added some CD music to it and some extras as we're about to see. Originally played this game in 2011 in the Lemon Amiga Games competition, round 12, and we also played it round 1 in the 2023 competition as well. Highest score went to Cape Horn with 500,000, and I scored slightly above Amiga Bill amongst the bottom of the table. As we start the game on the CD version, it gives us lots of options where we can choose our language, and then it gives us some more options where we can select a few extra things that have been piled onto the disc. And you can see a graphics crash on this version, probably due to my CPU caches that I'm using at the moment. And this is the CDTV version that I'm playing, even though I'm playing this on a CD32. So let's check out the first icon. And in here you'll find all of the credits, and this was very common when the PlayStation came along in 1995, but believe you me, in 1992 games did not come with a CD quality soundtrack, and they did not come with a long list of credits. But this game certainly does, and you'll find all those tracks hidden away on the CD, mostly with the introduction that we're going to move on to in a moment. In the information section we get to check out all of these artists. First thing it will do is it will print up a digitized photograph of Tim Simonon of Bomb the Bass. Bomb the Bass came from New York City, and they were a hip-hop kind of a sampling team, and they hit the mega charts around the late 80s, and they were included with this game. Music for Xenon 2 was based around John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13, and they used an Atari ST apparently to control the samples of that particular track, so it's ironic that on the Amiga it actually contains much better samples than the Atari ST version of this game. Let's check out Betty Boo. Many people think that Magic Pockets was the first game to ever feature a digitised soundtrack within it, but I think Xenon 2 pipped it with Bomb the Bass, and you can even see on this CD Betty Boo makes an appearance. I'm not quite sure whether she was part of the same team or not.
It's me again, yes, how did you guess? Cause last time you were really impressed and I'm bolder. Cooking cold, getting colder, and at the very same time I heat up at a party and
She came out with an album, Boo Mania, which I do have somewhere on the hard drive, and definitely the 12-inch version of Doing the Do is a great track.
I'm no in-between, top of the rank like Pearl and Dean, and if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, ain't got no time for your boo-boo.
Before we leave this section, let's check out the Bitmap Brothers.
But everything to gain, life won't be the same if you play their game. You've got nothing to lose, life won't be the same. But don't worry, Lord, it'll be alright.
And whilst you see these very famous pictures, you can see they are famous for Xenon 2, Cadaver, Speedball, Speedball 2, and unfortunately the original Xenon as well. And this photograph was taken on a roof in Manchester next to a helicopter. And finally this game was published by Imageworks, so let's check out their profile. Imageworks was an offshoot of the Mirror Group, headed by Robert Maxwell, and he was founder of the Mirror newspaper, and he branched off into video games in 1988, and that didn't last very long, unfortunately.
Give it up or turn it loose. What do you do when you need a boost? Vitamins and minerals you presently lack. Cheap and cheerful and a whole lot of tact.
Imageworks label folded along with the Mirror Group, but this came out just in time, so that's all great.
With some info on the musicians and artists. Hints and tips.
And in this version it even gives us a copy of the manual within itself on that CD. From here we can check out our ship, and this reminds me of the plane in Banshee, and you can see it's got some kind of light sourcing going on within it as it moves around. It's not just a flat shaded thing, it actually has got some light within it. And you can see the enemies as well, the collectibles and the shopkeeper. You'll also find extra tokens which you will collect as you move through the game. One of those can be bought in the shop. It's Advice, which is the most useless token in the game by any stretch of the imagination, and I would not recommend collecting that. There's also a Side Shot, which is almost essential, and there's a Super Zapper as well with a Z. There are heart and health pickups to collect, and there are various things that can hang back behind our ship and tackle the enemies from behind, and there is also an auto fire as well. I'll be using the zip stick for this, and I'll be having the auto fire switched on because that was possible in the Lemon Amiga competition, and this was actually unfortunately recorded after the Lemon Amiga competition, when I didn't have a great play at all, and I managed to get onto the 3rd level with 1 credit in the competition. But during this play, unfortunately, I couldn't even get on to level 3 after wasting 3 credits. So you can see there are various underwater denizens, trilobites and jellyfish and nautiluses, because this is an underwater game. And I didn't quite understand that when I actually played it, but looking at these instructions, yes, everything's based on old world deep sea creatures, and that's why our ship can manoeuvre left, right, up and down. And we can even dive as well in this game if you pick up the dive feature, which some players recommend on later levels. Finally, we get to that title screen, we get 3 credits, and we can even switch off the CD music from here. And now we can start a 1-player game. So let's press fire and check this game out. Xenon 2 starts out pretty easy, and by destroying these squares which appear on the screen, those items reveal some power-ups where we can power up our front plasma balls and also our rear shots as well. But a quirk in this game is if you pick up the side shot, you'll lose the rear, and so sometimes it's best to sell that at the end of the level. When you destroy the enemies, they will also drop collectibles. In this case, it's a bubble, and that is actually a credit. Small bubble is a small credit, and a large one is large, and so you can see the small credits there. I can pick those up, and it gives us no indication of our cash at this point, but it will do when we reach the shop. And there are 2 shops in every level. One of them appears in the middle of it, and the other one appears after you've completed it. Gives us an option of which way to go, and if you take the wrong route, unfortunately you might have to backtrack if you get that wrong, because it's a dead end. And if you hide in that corner, it is possible to get around those enemies, and it doesn't look possible on that particular play. And as I say, I've made it to level 3 on 1 credit, or without using a credit before now. So I'm very, very, very ridiculously unlucky on this playthrough. But what you're supposed to do, hopefully when that snake appears, you can get in front of it, like that, and then hang back in that corner. You'll then see 2 or 3 extra ones, maybe even at random, and then when they disappear, you basically got through that section. So you can see the health is listed on the bottom left, and there is a player 2 option as well. I don't think you can play simultaneously, but you can definitely take turns to play the game, and you can see the score piling up on the bottom left as well. If you make it this far in the game, then it will give us the shop. We don't have to fly into anything, it will just give us the shop for free.
What do you want to sell me?
At this point we don't want to sell anything.
Okay, what do you want to buy?
And there is also precious little that we need to buy. In fact, we can't buy anything except for the health at this point, so the game not giving us anything, and I'm not sure whether the money carries over into the next shop, and I've got an awful feeling that it actually doesn't. So one of the tips and advice is you can't take it with you, so once you've spent the money in the shop, basically that's it, so you might as well get it all spent.
That will cost.
You can see we can go for the advice.
You can't take it with you.
And it says you can't take it with you, so that's basically saying we want to spend it all, and then we return to the level again. Xenon 2 also came with some very memorable poster art, which was in all of the magazines. Unfortunately, this bitmapped image does not appear in the game itself. quirk about this game is if you pull back on the controller, that actually pulls the screen back momentarily, and sometimes you can even hold the screen backwards so you can take out those enemies. And the veterans of this game recommend pulling back to destroy every single enemy, because that gives us extra seconds and precious more time for us to get rid of them, and so pulling back in this game is critical, if not paramount. Even though I'm rushing through it at the moment, you can see my health is taking a dive because I'm not taking it too seriously, I'm just trying to rush on through it. Unfortunately, we have no idea who coded this game, but it was the assembly line, so I'm guessing it could have been John Dale, who also created Helter Skelter and also helped port Pipe Mania as well, and he also coded Magic Boy on the Amiga. The graphics were Mark Coleman, and he also created the graphics for Magic Pockets, Speedball and Gods as well by the Bitmap Brothers. Lastly, the music is credited to David Whittaker, who I think the music by David only appears on the disc version, and on the CDTV here we get music by Bomb the Bass. And the great thing is hopefully we can collide with the scenery and not get damaged, and that's particularly helpful when you've got things strafing the sides, because it means you can slip between those pretty easily and not get killed. But I think if you do get stuck in the bottom corner or something like that, maybe it kills us anyway, so let's not risk it. And look at that, it's giving us a free upgrade of a missile cannon. Collecting all of the cash tokens, you can see credits floating around, and they give us precious little. I think it's maybe 10 credits each or something like that, precious nothing in fact. But if we collect all those, eventually they'll pile up to a hill of beans. Once we've gone through a few levels, we can buy the best equipment and then sell that off, and it's selling off the best equipment which means that we get the biggest amount of cash. So the end of level 1 boss, hopefully we can pull back on the controller to avoid these mines, and as soon as it stops laying mines we can run into the eye and take it out.
What do you want to sell me? Rear shot power. I will pay.
At this point I'm going to sell the rear shot because I really recommend the side shot for the next mission.
Okay, what do you want to buy?
So we've got £5,000, let's see what we can afford to buy. Well, maybe even the double shot will definitely come in handy, that's 3,000.
Give me the cash. What else do you want? Power up. That will cost.
Do we go for the power up or do we go for the side?
That will cost. Give me the cash. Side shots. That will cost.
And if we buy 2 of them, that acts like a power up anyway, so let's buy them. And then it will take us on to now level 2.
There have been mixes and dance tracks put together in the past.
Out of all the levels in Xenon 2, I think that this one is definitely my favourite because it's the easiest one. It's even easier than level 1 if you have the side shot, and if you get into the zone for this, it is possible to avoid everything and take no damage whatsoever. The safe spots on every single level, you can simply move into them and not take any damage. Unfortunately, you saw I collided with the health before I collided with the enemies, which wiped the health off again, and if you strafe the enemies, that's a good way to wipe out a life.
Is that him? Could I be right? Could that be kid? A dynamite!
Power up, then definitely these enemies are easy to knock out, but if you're going for that cash all the time, it's easy to wander into their firepower when trying to blow them up. So you see, I tried to take out that last enemy and I took too much damage, and now we're on bare minimum. And with this game it does give us health power-ups, and I think I'm just a bit too far to pick up one of those, and there you go, that's game over. So let's put in on him and let's use up one of our credits so that we can try that level again. Great thing is it doesn't force us to play all the way back from the start again. It gives us all of the same upgrades and the firepower and the speed, so we aren't defenceless like quite a lot of shooters that I can point a finger at, and that's fantastic. It means we can carry on from where we left off. Gives us a power up when we get to the end of level boss, and that means the enemies explode pretty quickly, and that's pretty good. And some players actually recommend having the rear shots here, but you'll see right at the end of this review, and I've picked up the side shot, which is possible, but I'm going to make a mess of it, as you're about to see. So the first thing to do is to get yourself into that top corner, because we are invulnerable in the top corners, and then jut out and kill the eye that you can see, the eye that's blinking. You can run out and get that very quickly, and that will mean that the screen will start scrolling backwards, and if you time that pretty well, it means that you won't get hit, or if you put yourself in a position where you take out the enemy with the side shot, it means you won't get hit. But if you're standing out there in mid-space like I was, it's not going to help. And on the return journey you can see that it only took the slightest glance of the enemy eye to knock it out, and then you've got the third eye, which you should be able to knock out again with the side shot.
What do you want to sell me?
At this point I'm not quite sure if it's worth selling anything or not, but we will get a heap load of money if we do decide to do that. And some players recommend the cannons, but because we're still halfway through the second level, I would stick to the side shot, and if you can get any power-ups, all the better. We can get some speed up as well, and I think we can get this rear floating ball as well.
What else do you want?
And I don't think that will do us many favours, particularly at this stage, so I think maybe the mid-level shot will roll over, I'm not quite sure, but definitely the weapons do. We really don't want much at this point.
What else do you want?
With the Super Nash 1 power, it means that we have all of the power-ups that we can possibly collect, and it gives us that for 5 seconds, which is useless, but it's pretty cheap enough to buy that. And Super Nash 1, of course, reminding us of Speedball 2.
Mega Blast.
Some great graphics in the background and some great graphics by the side as well. It's pretty limited on the colour palette, as most bitmap games tend to be, but when you've only got maybe 16 colours, or maybe even 32, well, I don't really think that this game is really in 32 colours, because you can't see too many blues on the screen, and no purples and precious few greens either. So what we've mostly got is orange and red and white and grey, and so the colour palette will change from level to level, and it's really professionally done with fantastic enemies. It's just that because this thing is in a narrow corridor, we can't take our time like Swiv and queue them up to get knocked down, because we simply don't have room to manoeuvre. But at least it's not like Sidewinder 2, where the levels are completely enclosed and there's no room to manoeuvre whatsoever. So I don't particularly like the forced aspect of having to bounce off the walls and everything else, but I do appreciate the fact that the walls don't kill us. Maybe you can get stuck behind a wall. I'm not quite sure whether I got blown up then or not, but I'm on my last continue now, and this is towards the end of level 2, and I think there are maybe 5 or 6 levels in the entire game, and they seem to get easier as it goes on, because as you get the best firepower, that means you can get rid of them fairly easy, and the veterans definitely complain that the game is too easy and it starts off very difficult. So when I used to play this game, I used to be massively intimidated by it, and you might be surprised that, I mean, I obviously love all the usual horizontal and vertical shooters like Swiv and things like that, but I could never get on with this game, and I hated the original Xenon as well. So I entered this with some trepidation when we played this in the Lemon Amiga Games competition for the first time. It's really the first time I've ever played it, in 2023, which might surprise some people, but I did actually begin to enjoy it, particularly the second level, which is a joy as long as you stay in the right places. And zoning out of this game really is a joy when you can sit back and listen to that music. I think Xenon 2 is slightly too hard for its own good, and it could have been, well, more friendly if they have had an easy mode going on, and it takes auto fire to really enjoy it, but with auto fire it becomes a joy, so if you can play this game it becomes better. So let's destroy the bridge to the spider over here by blowing up the web, and then all we need to do is to pull back until we are level with the spider's head and then blow it up. There's nothing hard about this boss, in fact it's much easier than many of the bosses, but unfortunately if you blow up the spider you won't be able to collect too much of the money that it leaves behind, so you have to wait until the spider's right on the top of the screen and a bit like that, and then you can collect some of them by proxy, and hopefully enough to get us into that shop.
What do you want to sell me?
At this point we could sell that stupid floating around rear thing because it's not going to do much, but I'm actually selling the dual cannon so that we have tons and tons of money, and well, the speed, I'm not quite sure whether that's worth selling or not.
Side shot power. I will pay.
That'll give us a lot of money back, and we'll get triple rear shot as soon as we enter that next level, so we don't even have to buy the rear shot. When we sell off that side shot, it means we should have plenty available to buy anything else.
Laser, that will cost. Missile launcher, that will cost.
Let's buy ourselves the missile launcher.
What else do you want?
And also the laser as well.
That will cost. Give me the cash. What else do you want?
You can even afford a power up at this stage as well, so let's just get that. And it's definitely the art of figuring out what power ups you want for each level, and this level is very difficult because it requires side shot, and if you only have the rear shot like I'm going to have, it's very difficult, but you need the rear shot later on. So that's why it gives you tons of rear shot at the beginning of that level. Taking a look at the scores, the lowest score went to Dato Magazine with 60%, Lemon Amiga gave it 73, Amiga Power gave it 82, Amiga Action gave it 85, Sio Amiga originally gave it 88, Oi gave it 90, Ace gave it 91, Amiga Joker gave it 91, Amiga Format gave this 93, Zero gave it 95, Amiga Computing gave this game 100%, and the One gave this 100%, which means the average score is 9 out of 10. I feel there are some huge fans of this game out there who really adore this, and once you break that glass sheet of a icebreaker when you're trying to get through this, and you realise how easy it becomes later on, then it becomes a joy, and I'm simply making it look hard work for myself at the moment, because I'm not firing at the enemies with the forward shot or the rear shot. So that's wiped me out, and that's my last credit, unfortunately. So that's how far I managed to get with those 3 credits, and that's not my highest I score, but that gives you some idea of how to get through the first 3 levels at least, and some idea. And to help you out, I'm going to hand over to Pasquale for the rest of this review, and he's going to go through some tips. So thank you for watching this play guide and review, and we'll see you again in another one sometime soon. Thank you.
Money. Now we need to go to the left, top left, because they come from the bottom left, you see? Usually I go to the middle here, it's safer, a little bit safer. Yeah, here is tough. For a while now we don't get any energy. We need to try to play safe here. Walk backwards is the best. Yeah, here, go backwards, yeah. Backwards a little bit. No, I don't care about money to collect money. Okay, here there is energy, yeah, wow. And now it's destroyed. We need to go to the top right, top right, top right. Yeah, stay there, stay there. Don't move. And, yeah, and then go. Go, 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 go. And now go. Yeah, go, 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 quickly, quickly. Yeah, here I need a little bit of luck, to be honest, because this part is a little bit... This part requires luck a little bit. Still, I'm not sure if there is a safer way to do it. Yeah, here also we need a little bit of luck. Let's see! Whoops! Yeah! With the power up. With the power up, see the enemy, they explode very quickly. Power up is the best things in this shop. So good. These worms are okay. Not that dramatically difficult. We just need to survive. Oops. Oh. Yeah, we can here. If we survive here, we can get some energy. Let's see. Ah. The most important, if that worm hits you on the back, you are dead. That's why here is a must to buy the rare. So, see, the worm exploded. I tell you what it does. You see, now it will move to the right. So you need to go to the left. Now it goes to the left. You need to go to the right. Now it goes to the right. You need to go to the left. See? Now it comes to the left. Just go to the right only. Destroy only this guy, this one on the right, and take the energy. And don't touch the one on the left. Take the big energy. Don't touch the one on the left. Leave him alone, actually. Don't bother to destroy him. You see? The only things annoying about this game is that sometimes you do a bad move and you lose all the energy in one go. So you need a little bit of luck, I would say. The first part of the boss is easy. With the side, if you have the side, obviously. This boss is impossible to beat without side, S. So I recommend you to try to, buy side before level 4-1. See, I'm hitting him, but doesn't seem making any harm to him to make him explode. Let's see now. Let's see. Oops. Oh, up. He should explode very quickly now. Yay! We beat him.